What's up guys, Native Voice here. This is the follow-up video to my video from the other day, titled The One Stop Prep Shop. I told you guys there's going to be a follow-up video and I was going to show you guys how I make chicken and rice based on things that I get at the Dollar General store. If you notice, these are all Clover Valley, which is the Dollar General name brand, the cheapest ones they have. The reason I got a 5-pound bag of rice, guys, is because I have a family of 6 and 5 pounds of rice lasts us a month, and that's eating probably about on average 4 days of rice a week. What I'm saying is 4 days out of the week we use a couple of cups of rice to have a meal. So one meal every 4 days of every week. Anyway, in that video I addressed someone who asked me, they were asking about prepping and how much food they need to have. And guys, when it comes to prepping food and you're talking about a SHTF or a long-term scenario, you need to prep the amount of food that you need to survive for the amount of time that you need. You know, I'm going to go ahead and say this, it's probably impossible to save up enough food for the rest of your life. So when I think about prepping food, I'm thinking about prepping enough food to give myself time enough to learn to produce the amount of food my family needs to survive and sustain ourselves. Self-sustainability is always my goal. So I try to keep at least a year's supply of food on hand. That's what we're building towards. We're almost there. We're not quite there yet. And if I'm prepping food, I'm prepping foods that my family eats from a day-to-day basis. Why would I prep things we don't eat, that we don't cook regularly, so we don't know how to cook them and we don't know how to proportion them out for meals for the family? So that is always my goal. And the reason I got a 5-pound bag of rice, like I said, is that our family goes through 5 pounds of rice a month. And so what I try to have, is a year's supply. If I do that math, 5 times 12 is 60, so 60 pounds of rice generally would be enough a year's supply of food for my family. But I doubled that and did proportions to 10 pounds a month. That takes into account, instead of going 4 days a week, we're going 7 days a week. We're eating rice for every meal. Rice is a wonderful food. It's packed, it has protein, it has carbs. It's just a good food. It's also a vehicle for all kinds of other meals. You can use it with any meat. I mean any meat. Possum, raccoon, pork, beef, chicken, fish, whatever you need it to be. It's a meal into itself. Mix it with a good protein like beans or something like that. There's all kinds of things. That's why I always prep rice. And then also we have the chunk white chicken breast. I showed you guys that in the last video. I'm going to make chicken and rice. Of course, fresh chicken. We have chickens outside in the pen, in the coops. So like I said, sustainability is the key. But this stuff is good, guys. I know it's a canned meat, but I'll show you how you can make it and flavor it any way you want to. And this, of course, cream of mushroom. I've always said condensed soups are a good prep. Like I said, you can do so many things with them. You can make gravies, you can make sauces, you can thicken up stews. There's all kinds of things you can do with them. My favorite is cream of onion, then cream of celery, and then cream of mushroom. But there's all kinds of other things. There's cream of broccoli, there's cream of potatoes, there's all kinds of good condensed soups, tomato soup, chicken and noodles. There's all kinds of condensed soups. I really recommend it as a prep. Anyway, let's get into the cooking. Alright guys, this is the chicken breast I was telling you about. I know it's canned chicken. I know fresh chicken or frozen chicken that you got from the store would be better. Of course it would be. But I want to show you guys how you can add flavor to this stuff and it'll be good. All I'm going to do is braise it in a frying pan. What I like to do is just take my can opener, drain the juice. We're going to make our own sauce, remember, with the condensed soup. Alright. Alright. this is the point to where you're going to use, and like I said, if you're going to make a big meal for a big family, I'm just doing a small meal, but you'd want to use 2 cans or 3 cans, or figure out what proportion that you need. Alright, so what I like to do now is just spice it up, give it my own little spice. I'm sure you guys have all your own spices. So I'm going to put some seasoned salt on it, some minced onion, some black pepper, and a little bit of basil. Okay. Now you can also put like a little piece of butter in it, you know, but an SHTF, you might not have access to butter, it's okay. You can use oils, olive oil, vegetable oil, whatever you can. You can use tallow, animal fat, you can use lard, anything if you want to thicken up a nice little sauce for it. You can also use this too, also to flavor up a sauce, chicken bouillon cubes. We have tons of this in the house, aromat. You can season anything, literally anything with it. Alright, so for me though, since we have the cream of mushroom, a little bit of seasoned salt, some minced onion, of course fresh onion would be better, and also maybe some bell pepper, chop up some celery, all kinds of fresh herbs. What do you have? Fresh basil. We have tons of this basil, so we use it a lot. We like basil in this household. Alright, and I'm going to turn that to about medium heat, let it start to braise. Since we are not in the SHTF and I do have access to butter, I'm going to put a couple of slices of butter in there. Alright guys, you can see the chicken is sauteing good. Now, you don't want to let it burn, you don't want to let it saute too much. It's already cooked, remember that. You could make this meal without even sauteing it all if you need to. This is also cooked. So what I'm saying, if you want to make a meal, you know, you don't necessarily have to cook all this. But I put the cream of mushroom in here. Remember, we're making chicken and rice. So what I want to do is make a really good base, a really good creamy gravy kind of type base for the rice. If you'll see, look at the rice now. The rice is boiling. It'll be done another 5 or 10 minutes. Keep an eye on it. Now what you want to do with these condensed soups is add a little bit of water. Alright, I usually use a 1 can ratio for something like this, something I want to have a thicker consistency. 1 can's usually good enough. If you're going to make like a legit soup or stew, you might want to go 1.5 to 2 cans. It's going to be your preference, guys, so you're going to have to try this on your own. Alright, I'm going to turn the heat up to high, bring this to a boil. And what this is going to do is it boils and simmers down. It's going to thicken up into a nice consistency that we can mix the rice into to make our chicken and rice. Alright guys, you can see the rice is done. What I'm going to do is add the rice to my chicken gravy concoction. Alright, you want to stir it up in there real good. What you want to do is, the rice is pretty well cooked. What you just want to do is just mix it into the gravy and the chicken, and let it all sit and simmer for about 10 minutes. Okay. Now guys, if you can, this is my prepping recipe for chicken and rice. This is something you can do in the field, you can do outside in the woods, you can do over a campfire. The primary thing is getting the rice done, but if you have those bags, it's like the north sides of rice that are very easy to cook, or Uncle Ben's rice, or just even regular rice. You can get the rice cooked, you can add the condensed soup right into the pot. You can do this, what I'm saying is you can do this with 1 dish. You don't need 2 dishes to do this. Like I said, you can just put that chicken right in the rice afterwards and the condensed soup, a little bit of water, mix it up, let it sit. The rice will soak up all the good flavors. But I just wanted to share that with you guys. You want to, like I said, you want to let this sit with a lid on it. You can use any lid. I like to use this lid. This doesn't fit this pot, but it covers it. So I like to use it for stuff like this. You could also use a piece of aluminum foil to cover it up and just to keep the heat in there and let it set for 10 minutes. Alright guys, the wait is over. Now it's time to make sure that we know what we're doing. Me and my cameraman, the jackalope here, are going to taste our chicken and rice. Very good. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like, share, subscribe. If you are subscribed, hit that notification bell, guys. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. What are your recipes? This is Native Voice. God bless.